Well, hello and welcome back, and thanks for coming back. Where are we? Somewhere lost in downtown Paphos. We're going to join one of the main roads in the Universal area. If you're familiar with Paphos, that's the Central Universal Cava Mini Market kiosk, and just over here on the left hand side, because we're going left, is the Amazon kiosk. So this is one of the main link roads from the inner ring road from the Paphos Mall. And of course this road, if we keep on going up it, which is where we're going, will bring us around the back of the Paphos police station, around the back of the Paphos fire station. That's the Amazon kiosk there for a reference point. And of course we're going to join up on the dual carriageway bit and take you in towards Midtown Paphos. And you never know, we might miss the rush hour because we're on that funny time of day, which is just after lunchish, but just before people go back to work. So fingers crossed we're not going to get caught in gridlock traffic, especially for you. So downtown Universal, that's where we are. A lot of people who are familiar with Paphos know exactly where we are. Lots of people come here and stay in these apartment complex, perhaps like the one on the end over here, which is the Hesperides Gardens. A lot of people own apartments in there and of course come out for holidays now and again. And in fact, I stayed in the top floor apartment just up there quite a few years back, and it was a great apartment indeed. It really was. The word penthouse, it was a penthouse. It wasn't just a bedroom and a lounge on the top floor. It was a 3-bedroom apartment with a spectacular lounge looking out over the view of the pool, and it had 4 bathrooms. Yes, 3 en suites and 1 bathroom for the guests, and even that had a shower as well. Very nice apartment indeed. So we're coming up to the main ring road that brings you from the former Debenhams roundabout into central Paphos. That's the road we're going to join. Over here, if we were to go right, we would go around the back of the fire station and eventually into the compound of the policeman. So if you're a naughty boy and you've done something wrong and they catch you, Captain Stavros will be waiting in there especially for you. He doesn't bother about legalities, he just gets his truncheon out and starts smacking you with it. And to be honest, that was a former way policing was done in the UK many years ago, wasn't it? And to be honest, it works quite well. Now we've gone a bit nammy-pamby and all these kind of things. But not in downtown Paphos, I can promise you. Maybe in Limassol it's a bit more lax. Maybe in Nicosia they play by the rules. But not on Captain Stavros' watch, that's for sure. Anyway, this is the main road that takes you into central Paphos. You've got the Eurobank on the left hand side. If you want a bit of dosh, pop in there. Balaclava and a shotgun. Normally they'll chuck you a bit of chump change, which is 10,000 also. That's the tyre pressure sensor warning lights come on. I know I've got a slight slow puncture in the rear offside tyre. One of these days I'll go and get it fixed. It's just dropped. Goes down every about 3 days. So I've got a very slow puncture indeed. Luckily I only drive around very slowly and I'm not very far from home. So here we are. We're coming towards the area of the municipality offices and all those kind of things. But on your way in, if you want to pop in and buy a Porsche, well, there you go. VCM Motors, you've got Porsche, Range Rovers, all those kind of cars, and they're waiting especially for you. But don't walk in unless you've got about 60,000 to spend. Otherwise, nah, he'll just laugh at you. Nice enough chap, but he will just laugh at you if you haven't got a bit of chump change in your pocket. Now, we're coming towards the municipality area where the offices are and those kind of things. And just down yonder, often a man parks his black Mercedes on WN lines, chevrons across to a school, and just down from busy junction and traffic lights. But he's not here today. This is not him. This is an underling here, as you can see, that's parked on the wrong side of the road on the chevrons and the W lines across to the school. But anyway, he's probably going to get a frappe or something like that. But that there right now is where the Gumaro number 1 for Donis the Mayor parked his black Mercedes. And rumour has it, he's just had a brand new one. So we're looking forward to seeing that. And if you're a traffic warden, beware. Make sure you know that car. Because if you put a ticket on that, well, I think demotion or even execution could be waiting, especially for you. This is Uptown Paphos. We're technically in the old town. Right in front of us is the Noir Tappers Bar. Next door to that, hiding behind the trees, is the Boulevard. Very popular at night time, especially on the weekends, and they have a bit of a musicking competition. But this is Kennedy Square. So if you take a left down there, you are in the old town. And guess what? We're going to take a left right here, and we're going to go for a wiggle and a waggle in and around the old town. So sit back and relax, kick off the flip-flops, get yourself a rum and coke, perhaps if your name is Mr. Doug, up in downtown Scotland, and sit back and enjoy the beauty and the spectacality of the old town. Although this area is a bit scruffy, as you can see, but it's getting rejuvenated. And of course the old town has gone through some massive improvements over the last 3 to 4 years. We've got what we call pre-COVID and post-COVID. Post-COVID, it's a totally different place, and it's much better. And as you can see here, this building now is having a, well, more than a lick of paint, it's having a complete makeover, and people start to understand that perhaps they can turn some of these properties into shops and Airbnbs, those kind of things. Because of course lots of people are looking for places to stay when they come to Paphos. Now we're going to join a one-way system, so we've got to go left. Well, to be honest, we haven't got to. If we wanted to go right, we could, because of course this is Cyprus, where policing is quite lax, to say the least. If you're driving in and around Paphos, all I would say to you is make sure there's not a gun barrel in blue behind you, and stick to around about 60 kilometers an hour and you will be fine. It's only when you start to go over 70 kilometers an hour that you're going to get a speeding ticket. There was a chappie yesterday in the comments asking a very good question actually about, is your disabled badge from the UK valid in Cyprus? Well, technically it's not, but Cyprus is, you know, quite friendly with the UK, so they're going to turn a blind eye to it. So I've been told by Paphos, the police officer, and he was in conversation with the traffic warden Christos as well, and they said to me that provided that the blue badge, that's what they're called, is obviously genuine and obviously in a prominent position on the dashboard, they would not issue a ticket, because they would understand that obviously this is a driver with a disability, because they've placed that on the dash. But it can't be a makeshift one, it's got to be a genuine one from the UK, showing the picture and the validation number and all those kind of things. And you should technically by law have a Greek translation written by the side of it, just in case the traffic warden or the police officer can't read English. But in Paphos, to be fair, they can read English, and they both told me that they would not issue a ticket, but obviously that's their opinion. There are 3 or 4 traffic wardens in Paphos, but to be fair, I think that they would accept a British blue badge holder. And of course, if you're coming from another European country, well, that would be accepted anyway, because of course it would be UK valid, and Cyprus is in Europe. But please check on the internet, and perhaps in the UK you can get, I don't know, an EU one, I don't know, like you can get what's called an international driving license, can't you? So perhaps pop into the School of Motoring and ask them that question there. But Paphos, who's the policeman on the harbour, and Christos, who is the traffic warden in that area, understood in English what I was asking them, and they said that they would not issue a fine. So best of luck, that's all I can say. I mean, to be honest, it's pretty hard to get a fine in Paphos. You know, you can park your car up, and the traffic warden, to be honest, and I've watched this, they circle the car for around about 10 to 15 minutes. Then they go and get a frappe. Then they phone everyone they know to make sure it's not their car before they actually issue the ticket. So to be honest, I think it's going to be very difficult to get a parking ticket in downtown Paphos. We're doing a bit of a drive round in the old town, as you may have noticed, while Mr. Paul waffles on. And if you're wondering why it's dead, because it's just after lunch. And in general, if you want to come to the old town, you need to come here early. Come in the mornings and you're going to get excited and find some gifts and bits and bobs. Come in the afternoon, it's going to be closed. I mean, there are the odd shop open, by the way, but it looks closed, doesn't it? And it gets hot and sticky and all those kind of things. What better place to go in the afternoon than the Zuska Beach? Where's the Zuska Beach? Well, the Zuska Beach is just behind the Annabelle 5-star luxury hotel. Why do we call it the Zuska Beach? Because Lady Zuska likes to go there with Lord Ritchie, and we've renamed it the Zuska Beach. There we go. Simple. It's very simple. I can't pronounce the name, but it's actually called. So from now on, it's called the Zuska Beach. big shout out to some of the people who like to come back and watch the little channel now and again. Girl in charge of the show, obviously that's our day man, all the way in downtown Hartlepool, which is coming to Paphos very, very soon indeed. So if you missed her last time, she's promised us, haven't you, day man? She has promised us that she's going to dance the chuchuchka on the downtown Kid of Paphos promenade in a miniskirt, especially for you. And rumour has it that there's another superstar going to be in town at the same time, and she's going to dance in a miniskirt as well. That's Miss Nessie. And rumour has it that her man, Mr. Andy, again is going to pop on a miniskirt and dance especially for us. Only joking. He's whizzing around downtown Shropshire in his big black beast called a Range Rover, and hopefully it doesn't break down. But if he does sell Land Rover parts, but of course that doesn't actually help you when it breaks down. Now, this road's had a bit of improvements. We went down it one day last week, but just in case you missed that video, here we go. This road, well, it was rude to dig it up, wasn't it? But this road was dug up for around about 4 or 5 months. But now this section has been improved. All the infrastructure's been put in. They haven't quite finished yet, but they've done the pavements, and they're waiting to put that last coat of the black stuff known as tar macadam, or asphalt, isn't it? And they'll be doing that hopefully in the next few weeks once they finish the pavements, which, as you can see on the right hand side, they are doing as we speak. This road takes us to join to the road that takes you from Kennedy Square down through to the Paphos Mall Road, if you're curious. We're going to take a right and we're going to head down towards the Paphos Mall. If you're very, very lucky, you never know, I might take you down to the Kid of Paphos harbour area. Now, on that note, if you're curious to know how the channel is funded, very, very simple indeed. We ask you to click through to our About page, where you will find the Buy Me a Coffee icon. That's the platform, Buy Me a Coffee. It's very, very safe, very, very secure indeed. So Google us, Buy Me a Coffee, Marika and me, and you can choose to salute us, to thank us, or to motivate us to keep on making our videos, especially for you. You can buy us 1 coffee, 2 coffees, 20 coffees, as many coffees as you like. And we thank you from the bottom of our 2 hearts, and we really, really do. You can also find us on the thanks button on YouTube itself. You can hit the thumbs up, that doesn't cost you a penny, but it tells YouTube that you like us. You can hit the subscribe, that doesn't cost you a penny, but again it tells YouTube that you like us. Scroll across, there's a thumbs down, we don't really mind. Then you've got the shorts, then you've got download, and then you'll find a button with a heart shape and a red $sign, and that is the super thanks. And we thank each and every one of you that hits it now and again. Lord Derek Scully, we thank you very, very much. And of course we've got Sharon, that's Lady Sharon, and Sir Philip, all the way in downtown. Let me think, where is it? It's on a bit of a coastal part of the UK. Oh yes, Cornwall, downtown Cornwall. And of course they're coming to Paphos next year. And I know May seems a long time away, but it's not, is it? Because autumn is upon us now. Summer is technically over, isn't it? Autumn is upon us. And of course in what, 6 weeks, we'll be changing the clocks to winter time. Lights have gone to green, it's time to go. Miss Andrea, I think you're in charge of all of these red lights, aren't you? I really, really think that you are. So I'm going to have to work with you when I next see you. And we'll have to prune that peacock as well, because he's misbehaving, isn't he? As he's racing around the lanes in his little red scalded earwig of a Fiesta ST. How's the Volkswagen parts selling coming on? Well, I would imagine, because they do break down a lot, but not as much as Jaguars. And guess what? I just bought one. So don't forget to come back in a couple of weeks. I'll be driving around in that, and well, you never know. You might like it. Might be more comfortable than this. I'm undecided whether the S-Class is more comfortable or whether the Jaguar is more comfortable. So we'll put it to the test, and we'll have it in the comments hopefully. Now, Alpha Mega Supermarket, that's coming up on the left. That's where I often go and do my shopping, and they've got a ready food, they've cooked food for you. You can go in there and get a great chicken souvlaki. They do pork souvlaki as well. These are all sorts of other bits and bobs, but my favourite is the chicken souvlaki. And sometimes I have it with rice, and sometimes I have it with mashed potatoes, because I'm British, and British people do like mashed potatoes. Now, big shout out to some of the people who like to watch the little channel called Marika and me. Of course, our superstar, the girl in charge of all of our legalities, that's the girl in downtown Krakow, and that's our Anna Star, our superstar. very, very good morning to you, Anna, and to Thomas, and of course to Mr. Bart. We hope you're doing well, and we hope the sun is shining upon you now you're back home, because they went on a bit of an adventure, on a road trip. They went to Venice and then up through Italy and then eventually back home, and of course there was no problems with the journey because they were in a Lexus, and that means that they're very, very clever people indeed. Clever people would buy a Lexus or a Toyota. Stupid people buy things like Land Rovers, Mercedes and Jaguars. There you go. What can I say? Don't forget to keep coming back, and of course you're going to see me stranded at the roadside very, very soon indeed. I'm going to say thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, hit that like, click that subscribe. Perhaps come back for a little bit more of our madness, and guess what? You're going to get a great, great view of the Keddo Paphos Harbour. Thanks for watching.